Mind, you crazy for this. Soulful. It's like our responsibility to make us feel something. You know, to make people feel what we feeling. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo is right. There have been some crazy drops over the last couple of days. I feel like it's just been one announcement, one trailer, one box, one alert after another over the last couple of days. And in this show, we are going to dig into some of the things that have dropped as of late. Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is Comics Today, a show that we do on Wednesday to celebrate the best day of the week, that being New Comic Book Day. And I feel like I have not seen you guys in like a month of Sundays. I was sitting here laughing to myself as I was reading all of the comments from the people that show up here early in the show. Huge shout out to all those people that show up and just socialize with one another before the show begins. I am definitely appreciative of each one of you guys. And as I mentioned, there have been some crazy drops, some crazy announcements and happenings over the last few days, which is great if you're a content creator. Otherwise, it could be a little bit of a chaotic scene, but a lot of great stuff is happening right now. And I want to try to, over the course of the show, rip through some of the stuff that is being made public and some of the stuff that is a little more personal and private to me. First and foremost, I got a box today. I got a couple of boxes today, technically. One of them contained something I did not expect. Did not expect this at all. The backing board, I kind of sort of expected. I expect backing boards to be in the boxes that come here to my house, but it says, Reggie, hope all is well. So there is no official grumpy old guy cards. There should be. There is, however, a shirt, wear it with pride. And this came all the way from Canada. Came all the way from Canada from a man, Mark. He sent me a grumpy shirt. It says, I never dreamed that one day I'd become a grumpy old man, but here I am killing. You gotta love a Canadian sense of humor. It is a dry fit old man, grumpy old man shirt. Absolutely love it. As soon as I pulled it out the box, I could not help but laugh. We got on this grumpy kick. It was probably maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. We started talking about something, and Mark was on the show, and I made a comment about grumpy old man based upon some stuff that he and I was talking about. And then the dude sends me a grumpy old man dry fit shirt. Shout out to you, my Canadian brother. Shout out to all those people in other countries that are also watching the channel. There has been a surge of people from outside of North America that have decided to actually tune into the channel. For the first time, I think, ever, Canada and England have been pushed way down the list. There has been a massive influx of other countries tuning into the channel. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember what those countries are. But if you are in another country, shout out to you. Throw it up in the chat. If you represent your country, throw it up in the chat. The Blue Wrenches will be on the lookout to greet you in English, because I don't think we speak any foreign languages here, but we will greet you properly in English. Shout out to my wife. Told her I was having an issue with the phone. This dropped today. She sent me a message. She says, be on the lookout for UPS. They have something for you. She sent me a phone. That's a pretty nice drop. And you guys know she got it in red, because you know that's like the channel color. Got it in red. Shout out to her. I'm definitely appreciative. If you guys made it out to your local comic shop today, and or you picked up some books, because this is New Comic Book Day, if it's a new book or a new book to you, throw it up in the chat. If you picked up some stuff, let me know what you picked up. If you read something that was dope, throw it up there. Let us know what it is that we should put on the top of our stacks. And if you want to shout out your LCSs, you can do that as well. And I'm going to go to the chat here in a hot second. But before I get to that, I want to do one additional drop. I want to do one more drop. This news came out as I was doing show prep. another Canadian, my man Wayne Squirrel Madness, hit me to this one. It was an announcement from CGC, I do believe today, about the credit that you get at certain tiers for your membership. They have basically announced that the annual $150 premium and elite membership credit now applies to all services and fees. Previously, this credit was only applicable to grading fees and some additional fees. Now they've allowed it to be used for all types of fees. So effective immediately, this credit has been expanded to cover not only grading, but shipping, handling, and all add-on services. And so again, this is something that applies to premium and elite members. You don't need to do anything. The credit will be there when you renew, when you upgrade, when you sign up. It automatically will be applied to any charges that CGC is about to apply to your card or debit card or whatever it is. They will automatically deduct the credit and then bill you whatever's less. They will use the credit until it is depleted. This is something I wanted to make you guys aware of. I've been a premium member for a couple of years now. Technically, I'm a dealer level, but been a member premium for a while. This $150 credit is great. What's awesome is that if you sign up for it, I think it's $149 the membership, at least it was. They give you a $150 credit. They discount it when you renew at like $120, and then they still give you a $150 credit. At least that's the way it used to be. I don't know what changes they might implement or what changes have been implemented recently, but that's the way that it's been for the last couple of years. So it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. And like I said, this is something that I've been taking advantage of for a while, and I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it to you guys because this is some news, a new drop that just came out today. I don't know what time this news came out, but my man Squirrel Madness was all over it. Gonna go to the chat real quick to see what you guys picked up. My man Eric, how you doing, brother? He said, what is it? Conan, Battle for the Serpent Crown, Defenders 3, and Secret Warriors 12 and 23. Eric, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I have a feeling that Matt Woods is probably having some heart palpitations right now because he is a huge fan of Conan. And so I think anytime you see Conan mentioned in the chat, Matt Woods is having a good time. Who was that? Who picked up Hulk 105? Oh, was that Matt? Matt got that? There you go. I didn't watch his, I saw him in the vacation house, but I did not see what it is that he picked up. Shout out to you, Matt Woods. Definitely appreciate you, brother, hanging out with us while you are on vacation. Mark, how you doing, brother? Thank you again for the dope shirt. For those folks that may have come in a little late, I got a dry fit, grumpy old man shirt here. Killing it. There you go. I'm killing it. Mark picked up Jane Foster, Thor #1. Hate the, I don't know what that is, place. Issue #1, Twig 2, Time Before Time 13, etc., etc. What was that? Was a fun read, Dark Horse Comics. I just recorded something, North Bay, Ontario. I just, oh, that wasn't about Dark Horse Comics. I think that was the name of the comic shop. My bad. But I did record a video earlier today, and I mentioned Dark Horse. You guys will probably see the video in about a week or two. Yo, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. What size? It's an extra large. This shirt is an extra large. As my wife knows, I have, even though I don't compete anymore, I still have a wide shoulders and I have long arms. So we are definitely in the extra large category. What is that? Love Conan. Forgot to picked up Hulk 418, a 9.8 CGC cheap auction item. That's what's up. Scrolling through does everybody know Yule in here? That's good stuff. I used to hit up his comic shop in Berkeley, California when I lived out there. James Tomlinson, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. He said he picked up Spawn 330, Savage Avengers #2, and the Ward issue #1. That's what's up. Good stuff. Scrolling through, seeing what else I may have missed. Screaming Monkeys in the Munster, Indiana, picked up a little bit of everything, says Ricardo. That's what's up. Ken picked up ASM 79 and 87. Dark Crisis #1 from a man, Dave. It's good to see you. You can't go wrong with Mullet Cop. You can't. I'm gonna tell you guys, I went to a comic shop and they had some amazing stuff. Have you ever gone to the comic shop because you're just going to kill some time, and then people at the shop, they have amazing books that you really want, but you didn't go there to spend money. You just went there to spend time, and now you are in a dilemma, right? You didn't come to spend money, but the books are there. There were high grade ASM books that I need to upgrade in my collection that were staring at me in the face. I found some amazing Batman books, and I did not buy a single thing. I went to 5 comic shops in one day, did not buy a single thing because I went to experience. I went to kill some time, and I still have a little bit of a knot in my stomach because I passed up on some really awesome books. But stuff is, I have expenses. I have expenses, and so I had to resist the temptation. Joey, I am never telling you that shop, brother. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Joey. I share a lot. I'm never telling you the name of this shop because I might have to circle back on it, brother. I can't reveal that. No, sir. Ephraim, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. What is that? Matt Wood says, Reggie is talking about my day today. I even saw ASM 1. Oh, talk dirty. ASM 110 giving gang stand up. Saw a 7.0. That's what's up. I'm surprised that they didn't just give you that book, brother. I mean, because you've been giving gang since day one. They should have, as soon as they saw you, they should have been like, here, just go on ahead and take this ASM 110 giving gang. I don't walk in the comic shop. Hey, I respect it, brother. Danny, I respect it. But I needed a little time away from my kids, okay? I need a little time away. And where do we go? As comic people, we go to comic shops. We go to places where comics might be, by chance, right? We go to antique stores and all kinds of crazy. I just went straight to the comic shop, man. I hit 5 of them, had a blast, talked to some people. Some folks recognized me. I took some photos, which is always a little weird. I'm going to be honest with you. People recognize me in public. It's still a little weird to me. Cool, but a little weird, I will tell you. But again, I had a good time. Yule says, get a Spidey trade. What is that, Reggie? Do you recommend buying comic lots off of eBay? Yes, I do. Well, it depends. So here's the thing. If generally speaking, if somebody is selling a lot on eBay and the price is like super cheap, potentially that is a lot of trash. Just being honest, it might be a lot of trash. So you need to find out what's in the lot. Like, what is in the lot and how do the things in the lot contribute to your collection? Because you can build a collection that is comprised of a lot of books that you have absolutely no interest in, or you can build a collection that is comprised of things that you enjoy reading, that you want to build a foundation from, right? Like, I have bought lots of books on eBay, but it was in the process of trying to complete a run specifically for Amazing Spider-Man. I bought a lot of 200 books from eBay, and I got a great price on them, including shipping. Got some great books. I was able to swap out a lot of books in my collection that were lower grade for those books, and then I was able to sell off the lower grade books and essentially recover all of my costs. Like, and I basically added about 200 books. There were some that I kept as doubles. Others were, like I said, were kind of shifted out. But buying books for the sake of buying books to build one's collection doesn't necessarily work, but buying books in lots, in bulk, that are in service of something greater than a single book is not a bad idea. We can definitely chat about that. If you hit me up on the Instagrams, we can talk about it. Always happy to go through some of this stuff. Kevin says he got New Mutants 87 Avengers Annual 10 last week. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Good stuff, brother. Congrats on that. That's what's up. All right. What is that? Family stuff gotta go, says Eric. Thank you, brother, for stopping by. Definitely appreciate it. eBay. Whew. Yeah, man. There are a lot of really great places to buy comics out there. You can go to comic shops like Yule's in Berkeley, California. If you happen to live out there, you can go to Hip Comic. You can go to Shortbox. These are some of the sponsors of the channel. So a little bit of a plug for me. Also, if you, we spoke about this a second ago. We spoke about the CGC thing where they're allowing people to, got rid of it, to leverage the credit that you get for premium and in the higher tier for all types of services. If you do not have a CGC membership at this point, I definitely want to encourage you to sign up using the link that is down in the description. They give a couple of bucks back to me. Technically, it's a couple of dollars that go towards me grading books. And two of my books, speaking of drops, two of my books have entered the grading, encapsulation, and imaging phase at CGC. Two really awesome Silver Age books that I cannot wait to come back to me so I can wrap my hands around them. All right, with that said, there's several more drops that we're going to get to, but I want to introduce my next guest. And this is a person that has been on the channel several times over a period of time. Whenever he's here, I enjoy myself. I enjoy talking with him. And I have every feeling that this conversation is going to be very similar to all of the others that we've had, both on camera and off camera. I want to welcome my man, Steve Conje. Steve, how you doing, brother?
What is going on, brother? How you feeling, man?
Is the beard new? Is that
yes, yeah, I'm getting my grown man on, you know. I figure it's time to stop looking like a little baby. You know, get my grown man on.
I respect that.
You should try it.
Brother.
I could.
No, brother.
You look like you could grow one in like 2 days,
brother. Right up to here. Seriously, that beard will grow up to here. You will just see my eyes. Seriously, because between the eyebrows and the face, the wife doesn't like facial hair, brother.
You're gonna look like Cousin It. Just a face full of hair.
I can't grow it on my head, but I can grow it on my ears and my chin, brother.
Listen, I have to grow it somewhere, you know.
Hey, my wife does not like facial hair, so you know that I can get away with about 3 days before she starts to look at me weird. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, that's gotta go. You know,
my wife's the opposite. I came in, she was like,
hey. We all serve a higher power, brother. You got to do what you got to do. You understand?
What is going on, everybody?
It is good to see you, brother.
Thank you, man. Always good to see you, man.
I wanted to have you on, and I just realized that what we were going to talk about is across the room. So I have a feeling that you probably have one there. You just recently published a comic called Renfield with the folks over at Legacy Comics. Can you tell people what this book is all about?
Okay, if you guys don't know the whole story of Renfield, Renfield is like a servant to Dracula. All right, so we're telling a quick little twist on it, on how he got to the point where he got. So when I got the script, I was like, okay, this is cool, you know, and then I just threw a little twist on it, my own little spice to it, and that's pretty much it. And I was amazed at how it came out, to tell you the truth. Like, you never really know what you can do until you actually try, because the guys at Legacy were like, oh, you could do this. And I was like, okay.
So how did you get hooked up with the guys over at Legacy? Because through you, I've been seeing a lot more of their posts on social media and stuff like that. But
right.
How did you get hooked up with these guys?
Okay, so the funny thing is that they were at my local LCS here, Bulletproof Comics in Brooklyn. Big shout out. They were there promoting a book called Cange. So I'm a big supporter. You know, I've always said this. When I go to cons, I don't go to the big guys, DC, Marvel. I go to the little guys trying to do it like we are. So I went in there, and these guys were selling their books. So I was just speaking to them, you know, just speaking, and then next, you know how it is in the comic book store. You just start talking, and one thing leads to another. Funny thing is, one of the brothers, Afram, is actually in the chat right now, and he was the one that we really spoke to. And then they had another book that they wanted, which was Kroom. They wanted me to do the cover for. So I did the cover for it, and then they were like, "Oh, you know, can you color it?" And I was like, "No, I'm not a colorist." Okay. And they were like, "Yes, you are." And I said, "No, I'm not." And they were like, "Try it, and if it's garbage, we'll tell you." Yeah. I said, "Okay." And when I sent it to them, they were just like, "Yo, brother, stop saying you're not a colorist."
That's what's up.
And the energy with this team has just been amazing, brother. Like, and and that's pretty much the story. It's just guys in a comic shop.
Hey, I mean, what more do you need? Have talent, got a comic shop, sit around and pontificate, right?
Exactly.
Is this so? You did the pencils, the inks, and the colors
Right.
for Renfield.
Yes.
Was this your first actual published comic?
Yes.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
It was one of those things that I was very surprised about, that, you know, when you get handed this thing, like, you know, you get handed this book, you're still in that moment where you're just like, is this real?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it was great. Like, when the guys, Patrick, when he called me, he was like, yo, the book came. You got to get over here. And I was like, okay. And I went over and he handed me the book. And I, you know, it's Brooklyn, you know.
I'll be there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. You know, Brooklyn. It's like, I'm coming. But then when I got there, I was just like, oh man, this is real.
There is nothing like that.
Yeah.
There is nothing like holding that book in your hands, man. Like
Yeah.
it's now real. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But when I was thinking about you, I was like, is this his first publication or
Yeah.
not? Like I wasn't clear on that. So I had to ask the question.
Yep.
But I think the other book you showed me was Croom. Was
Right.
Croom done before Renfield or was it reverse? That was first.
They were done pretty much around the same time. They were both part of a Kickstarter.
Okay.
So they asked me to do this first. And then I did this first. And then they asked me to do the Renfield book.
Got it.
So I was like, okay, cool. So pretty much they both came out at the same time.
There we go. Okay.
The Kickstarter package, yeah.
And I know you're working on your own passion project, right? Cure for Utopia, right?
Yeah.
But again, I thought that the Renfield thing was really cool. You know, I like the red cover. I mean, when I saw the red cover, I was like, sign me up, right? I reached out to you. Hey, the chair is red. You know, I'm loving it. So I reached out to you and I was like, man, let me go ahead and get some of those. So for those folks that don't know, I picked up, I don't know, a handful of copies. And we're going to be putting some of the signed copies that you sent me into the Swoldier supply box for the month of June. And so my ask is, if you are getting a Swoldier supply box, either through subscription or the individual box, if you get the book, tag my man, Steve Conje. Steve, what is your Instagram so people know how to find you on the social media?
Instagram is s.conge, C-A-N-G-E. You'll see my character curse in the circle. And just click it, and that's it. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much, everybody that's purchased. Reg, I really, really appreciate you, brother. When you hit me up and you were like, yeah, I need a couple of copies. But there's one copy you not giving away. I know.
So let's talk about that. So I did a live show. And I opened the books up. So I reached out to Steve. I was like, hey, I want some books. Can you do this? I was like, I want them signed. I want something special. I want a remark. So in the live show, I open it up. I'm looking at the books. I'm showing the books, and I'm like, man, I thought I asked him for a remark. I don't see this remark, but I just got to keep going because it's a live show. You can't be like, Steve, where's my remark? He forgot something. That's like, you know, you don't do that. And like, I think like 2 days passed or like a day passed. You sent me a message and you were like, hey, so what's going on with the remark? I was like, man, I'm thinking to myself, did you even send it? So then I went and looked, and I looked twice. I still didn't see it. Like I wasn't paying attention.
It was the first book you pulled up in the video. If you go back, you'll see it.
No, it's kind of like that Swamp Thing book that people spotted in my video that I didn't see. You know,
I had to pause on that one too. I was like, oh snap, there it is. When everybody was telling you.
Doug sent me screen grabs. He was like, here it is. I think that this is it right here. I think he might have even circled it. Like, this looks like it. Sent me a comparison photo. I'm like, Doug, okay, bro.
Before and after.
Yeah. Totally missed it. Missed the book, missed the remark. But yeah, no one's getting that book. The remark is set aside. People get the regular signature. So folks will get either the silver or the gold signed book, the remark, and at least one other copy I've set aside in my PC. That's for me. So but where can people get a hold of Renfield? If folks want to snag a copy, how do they go about doing that?
If you need to snag a copy, you just need to go to legacycomics.com, and you'll be able to snag as many copies as you want. If you want the signature though, hit me up on Instagram for now. All right, I'm setting something up, but for now, you can hit me up and I will personally send you the signature copy.
I'm reading these comments. I don't know what that means. Looking like a man at a grocery store. What does that mean, Mark?
Reggie looking like a man at a grocery store.
What? And I just look over and that's what I see, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. Anyway, but Steve. So again, if folks, if you're a member that gets the Swoldier supply box, if you happen to get one of them, one of the Renfield copies that are signed, tag Steve Conje on Instagram. Let's do him a favor to help spread the word.
I would really much appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man. But you know, all of this has been a setup. This whole conversation has been a setup.
They didn't realize it.
No. But we about to segue. We're about to segue into the actual drop. As I started the show off, there have been all kinds of drops. The reason why Steve Conje, talented, independent artist and comic book creator, is on the show is because he has created a cover for Isolation. And and I remember,
I wish we had the horn.
I couldn't do the sound effect. I tried. It was not very good. But Steve reached out to me and you basically were like, I don't care what it takes. I just want to be a part of this. Like, I remember that conversation. I was in my backyard walking and we're talking. You're like, I don't care. I just want to be a part of it. I was like, let's get it. Right.
Absolutely.
Let's show the cover. And then I want you to tell folks without spoiling what the heck we are looking at as I pull this thing up. And again, this is a cover for Isolation issue #1 by my man Steve Conje, and this is cover G. Cover G right here. Steve, what are we looking at, brother?
We are looking at what Doug described to me. Actually, Doug said, very cryptic. There's a guy in the hood, and there's a young lady. She goes to a library, and there's a cop. And I was like, okay. And he was very cryptic about it. But then I got some of the images, and even without words, you know, it flowed and it told a story. And I was like, oh, this is nice. So I wanted to tell part of the story on the cover, you know, without giving away too much. So there you have the young lady, she's reading the book, you have the police officer, and you have the hooded mystery figure in the background with papers dropping from the background, you know, and just, you know, I figured that, you know, people can get from there. Once they finish reading the first comic, they'll be like, oh, okay, I get it.
I get it now. Yeah.
I get it now. I get it now. Even the mountains, like, people might be like, what are the mountains in the little corner about? I'm like, that you'll understand. Stay tuned. Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest, brother. When I saw it, I was like, man, this is dope. When I first saw it, I was like, this is dope. I mean, and that was just, I think it was like either the pencils or the inks. I can't remember, but it was early on in the process. I was like, this is dope. And you know, Doug and I discussed it, and we were like, yeah. I was like, just tell him to go. Just tell him to keep going. And then the colors came back, and I was like, oh yeah, this is super dope. Then I was mad. I think I sent you a message, and I was like, hey, so how many ideas for covers did you have? Because I was gonna get you to do a cover, and I was like, let's see if we can get him to do another cover. You like, this is the only concept that I have, and I was like, all right, never mind.
No. Listen, if you would have told me, listen, if I did this concept and I did a bunch of different doodles and sketches, I real quick just to figure out where I was gonna place the characters, and I was just like, okay, this is the one I want to go with. Had you said, can you do something else? I had something else kind of leaning that I was going to lean to, but this one was the one that really, really spoke to me.
It's dope. It really is dope. And you've got a couple of very important characters here. I mean, there is a lot here that people, again, will appreciate a little bit later. And part of what I like here is that wonderful splash of like orangish red in the background, like that contrast between each one of the characters, and especially the Bob Ross mountains in the lower left hand corner. I mean, that's straight up Bob Ross, brother. I was like, did he bust out the paintbrush?
I actually I put my wig on, and then I was just sitting there like, you know, this is going to put a little happy tree here, just a little happy tree. Oops, I messed up. A little accident. Oh wait, it's digital. I can change it.
Did you say a happy tree?
That's you don't remember Bob Ross?
Oh no, brother.
Tree?
Oh no, brother. I remember happy clouds, happy trees, all that good stuff.
That was my man.
So was this all done? Did you start out traditional and then switch to digital?
I started just real loose sketches, like just getting an idea. And I went digital because to me, digital is just so much faster.
Yeah.
You know, a digital gets a bad rap, like especially from the traditional artists.
Yep.
You know, they're like, oh no, you're not doing traditional art, and I'm like, yeah, dude, keep pushing. So
I got to get this stuff done.
Yeah, I got to get it done.
Yeah.
Like you playing games, what this would take me so long, and for me, digitally, when it comes to coloring, is just amazing. Like you could just take it to a whole other level. Even people that traditionally paint, when they do it digitally, it's just phenomenal. And it's just amazing work. So yeah, I definitely love it. Like let me show you. We got the black and white right here.
That's dope.
So
that's dope.
You know,
so for those folks that are tuning in a little bit late, I'm sitting down talking with Steve Conje, who has recently released a comic called Renfield with Legacy Comics with an X. He is also doing an exclusive cover for Isolation. This is his cover right here, cover G, that we're looking at right now. And this thing is dope, man. And let me ask you this. How were you at all nervous when you sent this over to Doug and I? Like, what was going through your mind when you were like, here you go, there you give me your thoughts? Well,
I'm always nervous when I'm giving my stuff, and the first thing I'm thinking is like, I probably go. I expected a little text to go, it's okay. And that's what I expected. You know, the little dots, you're waiting for somebody to talk. So it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But you know, can you do something else? And I was like, okay. And I've learned that that's not a problem.
Yep.
Like, because sometimes people see things you don't see.
Yep.
It's like perfect example when you asked me about her tone, her skin tone, and you were like, you know, and you were like, oh, can you just do this? And I changed it slightly, and it worked. It worked perfectly because it's not something I saw. It's something you saw. So which is fine. Getting input in is not a problem. Not a problem for me at all.
I think that's one of those things, potentially as a professional, where you sometimes have to separate yourself from the creation, right? Separating the creator from the creation, and a critique of the creation is not a criticism of the creator. It is like, it's a little bit of a collaborative type of thing, right? And so you have to have a little bit of give and take. For me, as a person that's not creative, I would never have come up with this, right? Like, it's impossible for me to do that, but I can talk to somebody and describe something and say, here's what I'm thinking. But what's really great is that truly creative people hear that, they go away, they create something amazing, they come back, and now all I have to do is like, hey, can you slightly tweak that?
Yeah, tweak this and
I'm good, right?
Which is great. Which I have no problem with. I have no problem with criticism. But like I said, I was very excited to do this because once you said it, like, it popped in my brain.
Yeah.
And you were like, you know, can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, yeah, cool. And then Doug hit me up. Me and Doug is talking. He was like, yo, we were on this. I was already talking to Reg right before you did.
Yep.
Because I wanted you to get on a cover with this. And I'm like, yeah, definitely. But to let everybody know that this is actually the Comic Book Cartel cover. So if you zoom right into that little corner right there, right by her arm, you'll see a logo. You'll see our logo just hidden right in that little corner.
Oh, man, I made that too big.
You'll see our logo in the corner. And a lot of people may have missed that, you know, are going to miss it, whatever. But I really wanted to, it's an ecosystem I'm trying to build. Like you did, Reg, one thing feeds into another, you know, and that's how it is. So with Legacy, with the cartel, with my own work, with you guys, like, I just want to be able to just keep putting out great stuff.
Well, I think you're definitely down the path, man. I mean, I've been impressed with just what you've done in whatever period of time. Like, pick a period of time, right? I mean, you know, Cure for Utopia has been something that you've been working on, but you're still working on that, but you're still doing all this other stuff, which is amazing. And one of the things that sticks with me is you said something to me. You were like, I think when we spoke on the phone, when I was walking in the background, you were like, you move like you have 1 million subscribers. And it's like, you don't really think about what you're doing. You do it. right? You do stuff. You
Absolutely.
have these ideas and you go from idea to execution and you try to do it as best as you can. And it's fun. Like I tell people all the time, I'm living my best life. And you probably could say the same thing. I mean,
Absolutely.
you've had how many covers, how many comics, in what period of time?
In less than what? Less than 6 months.
It's amazing.
In less than 6 months. And there's just a lot more coming down the pipe because now I'm getting so many people hitting me up and it's like, yo, can you do this? Can you do that? And the fear is gone.
Yeah.
Because this is not the first time somebody's asked me to do something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because about, I want to say 2 years ago, somebody hit me up on Instagram and they were doing a Kickstarter and they were like, oh, we saw your Cure stuff, the website. Yo, we love your work. Can you do something? And I let fear hold me.
Yep.
And I was like, oh no, I can't. I made all the excuses in the world.
Yep.
But shout out to one of the heads at Legacy, Patrick. He would not take no for an answer.
That's what's up.
He was like, no.
Yeah. Because I was about to ask you what changed. And it sounds like it was not necessarily a change, but an external force that was being exerted on you by the name of Patrick that allowed you to get over that fear.
Patrick Hickey Jr.
And look at what's happened. Look at what's happened. That's amazing, bro. Shout out to Patrick, man. That is awesome.
He was the catalyst to a lot of this because he was like, you can do it. Just do it. And then when I did the cover in black and white for Kroom, he was like, go color it. I believe in you. Do it. And he sent me reference after reference after reference. And I was like, okay, study it. Study it like you study Jim Lee's artwork. Study it like you study colorists like you study pencils. And that's all I did. And then now I'm trying to figure out the next step and trying to make my own signature thing. So everybody goes, that's Steve's colors.
Yeah, that's a Cange right there.
That's a Cange.
Don't give Patrick too much credit, brother. He tried to tap into your royalties. Don't give him too much credit. He'll try to slide his hand up in your pocket.
No, absolutely.
But with that said, so this is your exclusive cover for Isolation. Again, this is cover G. How do people go about getting a copy of this? Because this is all you, right? So how do people get a copy?
Yeah, this is all me. Let me tell you a quick backstory. Reggie was like, oh, well, we could hook you up with somebody and this, that. I was like, no. No. I want the cover by myself. So you guys can go, and since we dropping stuff, it just launched. The comicbookcartel.com is our official website. We are officially launched as of right now, as of today. You have to just type the comicbookcartel.com and you'll see, boom, right there. You'll be able to pre-order. I have signatures. I have a few other surprises. You guys could go get everything that you need on there.
I was hoping you would stretch it out just a little bit longer.
There you go.
The Comic Book Cartel. I'm sorry. It is the comicbookcartel.com is the website. And right there, you have some Isolation going on. You can pre-order. Rest assured, brother, that as soon as we get these books printed, I get my hands on them. They're immediately going to be turned around and shipped out to you, so you can do whatever it is that you want to do. But thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on the show, but also thank you for supporting this project. Right? I want to say you were like the first person that signed on that was like, I want to do an exclusive cover. And to your point, I was like, hey, check it out. We can hook you up with somebody else. It's a lot of copies, right? Because we set a high minimum. Right. And I think you were like, nah, I got it. And I was like, okay, let's go.
Somebody told me one time, just jump out the window and spread wings later. So just go for it.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to go for it. So guys, I appreciate everybody out there. Go to the website. You can get regular plain copies. You can get signed copies. I'm doing signature copies. I'm doing CGC. I just got my artist CGC account. So we are live right now, people. We are definitely live.
You're official right there, brother. And just to be clear, it wasn't Patrick that said jump out the plane and grow rings.
No. It wasn't Patrick. Like not everything is Patrick. He doesn't get credit for everything. Let's back up now.
Patrick said, Steve Conje, Patrick said.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right, brother. Well, again, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. Thank you for signing up to be cover G. For folks that don't know, man, there's additional covers that are coming out, but
I
this is
don't even
one.
know.
This is one that I was really excited about because your cover
too.
turned out great. You had, I want to say your cover was done first. Like you got it done fast. And I was like, all right, well, I guess we got to wait for my other covers to come in because I was then jealous because you had a dope cover. I had no covers at the time, you know? But thankfully our covers started to come in. But the good news I will tell you is that the printer has accepted our file because we sent over the file to the printer. There is paper in the warehouse. We are expecting a printer proof this week, which means that we are a couple of weeks away from actually printing Isolation issue number 1. Shout out to all those people that have actually signed up to buy a copy. And again, please support my man, Steve Conje, cover G of Isolation. Steve, before I let you go, any parting thoughts that you have for the people that are watching and listening later on the podcast?
Guys, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everybody who believed in me. Everybody besides Patrick.
I was waiting. I was waiting. I was going to slide it in there. I was
no.
Let him finish.
No, Patrick. But yeah, everybody that believed in me. Shout out to my boy Afram who's in here. If you guys don't know, go to Legacy Comics. Afram has a killer book. It's called Legend of the Night Owl, and it's an amazing book. You guys definitely check it out. We got something in the works with that as well. It's just an amazing. That team is just amazing. Shout out to everybody at Legacy. Shout out to my boy Wilton, my partner in crime at the cartel. Without him, he's going to be shipping all your books. So listen, when you get your books from him, he makes everything bulletproof. So it might take you a couple of hours to cut through the stuff. He's one of those. All right. So be patient when you're opening up the packages. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to be me and being creative. And I really appreciate you. And that's about it.
You gotta love Tina. You gotta love Tina. Tina's like, poor Patrick. I love me some Tina, man. I do. I love me some Tina. Anyway, Steve, it is good to see you, brother. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for everything. And I will put the links up in the video's description so that folks can check out the website and all that kind of stuff. But thank you, brother.
Thank you.
All right. So there was a question here, and it's a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question. Mark is asking the question of what kind of paper is in the warehouse. He's asking, is it Marvel paper, or AKA tissue paper or image paper? So I will tell you, generally speaking, we are aiming towards creating a comic that is on par with like a Boom Studios or an Image or even Bad Idea, right? The quality of what they put out is solid, right? And so if you picked up a copy of the guide, we are going to be right around the quality of the guide. So like decent paper on the cover and decent paper throughout the book. And I know Mark is joking, but this is a legitimate question because we are not putting out some paper thin stuff, man. We are putting out some high quality stuff. And as evidence of that, speaking of drops, this showed up. Shout out to my man, Scott, who does the production for a lot of the things that we put out in print. He hooked up the ash can. So we have 100 copies of the ash can that have been printed. We are sending these to strategic partners out there. So different YouTube personalities are going to get some. We're sending them to some of the comic shops that have placed orders, and we have some comic shops that have ordered as many as 500 copies of Isolation issue number 1. We're sending them out to people like Steve Conje, who picked up an exclusive cover, and other folks. And this thing, if you happen to get one, it is nice. I will tell you that this is legitimate paper that this thing is made out of. I mean, maybe even a little too sturdy. Shout out to Hip Comic. Shout out to Hip Comic for taking out an ad on Isolation. We definitely appreciate their support. They have been a relatively new supporter of the channel, and they are putting out some good stuff. So I definitely want to acknowledge their continued support. All right, let me see. Ash cans are dope. It is going. Do a read aloud. I was doing some research earlier today on Scholastic, and I found several articles that were talking about the importance of reading to children beyond like the age of 7. Like there's some benefits. So Chris, I got you covered, brother. I will read aloud to you any day. Scrolling through, let me make sure I'm all caught up. Let me see. Nice. We want good paper, not ungood paper. And yes, ungood is a technical term. It is a technical term. And again, some good quality paper. I am definitely pleased. It is, I will tell you, what we are printing on is not exactly what we wanted, but it is one step down, which makes it equivalent to basically what we did with the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. So it is good paper. If you guys picked up that publication, it is some good stuff. Definitely some stout paper. All right. Let me clear that off. And again, let me make sure that I am caught up. I am indeed. Looks great. You can get a mean paper. Brother, you get cut by this ash can, you gonna bleed. It's like that cardboard cut. You get a cardboard cut, it's different from a paper cut. It's thicker. It is thicker, no doubt about it. All right. So one other thing that I wanted to hip you guys to, again, lots of crazy drops, lots of crazy stuff happening. I think it might have been Dave who sent me this trailer right here. We're only going to watch a couple of seconds of it, so let me play this real quick. All you need to hear is that sound, and you know what that is. This is a trailer that dropped, I want to say today or yesterday, for Prey. If you watch the whole trailer, it is incredible. They give a lot more background than the original teaser that they did a couple of weeks ago. I am fired up about this show. I got to tell you, I am super excited about Prey. I want to say that this thing is supposed to be on Hulu, but that little thing had a logo on the bottom corner for Disney Plus. I thought it was going to be on Hulu, so I don't know what's up with that. Maybe somebody in the chat actually does, but Prey looks incredible, and I'm super excited to check out this show. Somebody actually provided me with their Hulu password so that I can watch the show if it comes up on Hulu. That makes me a little uncomfortable, I will be honest with you, but not so uncomfortable that I won't watch the show if it comes out on Hulu, just to be super clear about that. But shout out to great subscribers that try to take care of me. Yes, this is basically Predator. It is Predator, man. It is a Mephisto. Well done. This is the new series. This is I think an ongoing series, if you will, of installments. It's an installment. It's not a movie. It's installments, right? Of Predator. It is the new Predator show that I thought was going to be on Hulu. Maybe now it's going to be on Disney. It is not quite clear to me, but I am super pumped about it. I think it really focuses on the Native American people, like about 300 years ago. It involves a predator coming to Earth and this tribe basically squaring off against this predator. And I think the star of the show is this Native American woman. And so I am pumped about this thing. I am super excited to see what they've done with this thing. Aliens and Predator take me right back to like the 80s. Take me right back to my childhood. I am super pumped to see this one. So I did dry snitch on myself, didn't I? It's not Netflix, bro. We're good. It's not Netflix. We good. Steve Conje, I can see him laughing on the bottom of the screen. He is cracking himself up with these jokes. No, I meant my cousin loan me. No, that doesn't work. My bro, no, that doesn't work. Strike that. Strike all of that. All right, let's move. Let's move on. The other trailer that dropped, and I know that this one was from Dave. This one I do believe was from Dave, and it was also from Wayne, aka Squirrel Madness, sent me this one right here. And again, another dope drop.
Heroes don't kill people. Well, I do.
So that clearly, to me, has an MCU feel to it, right? The little sketch comedy in there, that to me feels a little bit like the MCU. I am more excited about Black Adam than I was before, and I was already very excited about this as a Dwayne The Rock Johnson fan, not of him as a wrestler, but him as a business person and also as a father. That resonates with me when you see, and also as a bodybuilder, right? I mean, technically he's not a bodybuilder, but he's a bodybuilder. This guy, his persona, his attitude, his savviness resonates with me, and I enjoy seeing him in whatever he's in. He's always The Rock to me. He's never quite the character that he's supposed to be. He's always like The Rock. But I think that this Black Adam is going to be dope. This trailer, if you have not seen it, is available on YouTube, and it is incredible. I have a feeling that this movie is going to be really dope, and so I'm definitely pumped to see this one. Another drop that happened is Miss Marvel. The Miss Marvel TV show has dropped on the Disney Plus platform, and there is a hidden QR code for a free digital comic. This headline is misleading. I felt like comicbook.com lied to me. This is actually, I thought it was a real comic. I thought it was a physical comic. I do believe that it is a digital comic. I spent about 8 minutes with my iPad up, zoomed in on the QR code that appears behind the young man in the corner store, using my cell phone to try to get the right angle to be able to connect. And it connects over to Marvel Unlimited again, where I think that there is a digital comic that is available. I was very disappointed when it wasn't a real comic, because that's what I wanted. But there is a hidden QR code. I've watched the first maybe 10 minutes of the Miss Marvel show on Disney Plus. My general feeling is that it's a cute show. I think it's a cute show. I don't know that it's made for grown people. I'll be completely honest. I don't know if it's made for a 45-year-old man. It seems like it's geared a little bit more towards teenagers, which is not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people say, they worry about the future of the hobby and all that kind of stuff. Well, they may be bridging the gap by introducing the younger generation to characters via the Disney Plus platform through shows like Miss Marvel. And so I've watched a couple of minutes of it. It seems like it's a good show, but again, I may not be the perfect demographic. Now, that does not mean that I'm not going to watch it. That does not mean that as soon as this show wraps up, I'm not going to go finish watching the episode, because I try to support everything that comes out that is comic book related. So again, if you guys have not checked this out, I encourage you to do so. There is the QR code, and no, there are some of you trying to scan the screen right now. I do not think that that's going to work. I do not think that you can scan the screen with your phone. I think you have to use it on your iPad or your TV. For whatever reason, I don't think that it's actually going to work through the screen that I'm showing it to you on right now. So sorry about that, but that is not going to work. All right, let me take that off the screen. And the last thing that I want to hip you guys to is Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld is back in the news. He has announced that he is going to issue a remastered version of Prophet. And if you guys remember, I think it's Jake Gyllenhaal has actually signed on to take on the role of Prophet. And I think that the movie is actually in development right now. Rob Liefeld has announced that he is going to basically celebrate the 30th anniversary of Prophet being released with a remastered version of Prophet. And he's basically tapped into a bunch of creators, some of which that he's worked with in the past, many of which he has never really worked with, but reportedly all of them are huge fans of Prophet. And so he's going to be doing this remastered thing. I feel like it's going to be like one of those like Marvel Comics 1000 or one of those other books that they come out with where they have a massive team that basically, does a page or two in an overall comic. At least that is the feeling that I get from it as I was reading this article. about Rob Liefeld. So if you guys are fans of Rob Liefeld, here is the list of the creators that are going to be working on this project for him. The only one that really struck a chord with me was Philip Tan. He was the very first name mentioned. He was also an X-Men artist back in the day, and I do own a page. The very first piece of original art that I ever purchased, I believe it was X-Men issue number 471. I think I have page 11 that was done by Philip Tan. I do enjoy his artwork, and clearly so does Rob Liefeld, because he had him sign on to do this remastered version of Prophet issue number 1. Not quite sure when. Oh, there you go. Prophet Remastered will be in comic shops July 20th. They actually show a couple of pages from the book here. Let me scroll down so you guys can get a picture of what this book actually looks like. It does not look bad. It does not look bad. The coloring looks pretty awesome. And, you know, I don't know what's going on here, because they're showing us pages with no dialogue, but it looks to be pretty cool. So we will see. We will see what this looks like. I kind of like that one. That was a cool one right there. I think that's the guy from Wildcats right there. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I do believe that that's what that is. So there you go. A remastered version of Prophet issue number 1 dropping in July around the same time, potentially, as Isolation is coming out. I don't quite know. Steve Conje is saying, it is dope back there. There you go. The colors look great. Different. Colors look different. It looks different from other things that I've seen as of late. And that's what makes it really awesome, is that it's different, right? A remastered of Prophet is like when Mace came back. Oh my goodness. TMX, I didn't know where you were going with that one, brother. If you are a fan of hip hop, you know what that means. You know what this statement means. It's not the same. Murder Mace version 1 was amazing versus Mace remastered. Not the same. Murder Mace was very, very different back in the day. Well done. Well done, brother. I did not expect that one. There you go. Do kids still use dope these days? I'm 45 years of age, brother. So yeah, kids still use it. I'm still a kid at heart. And I use dope. I do. And if you push it, I may even say cool beans occasionally as well. Isolation will be selling way more. Oh my goodness. Fingers crossed that Isolation does indeed sell more. All right. With that said, we are going to wrap this thing up, man. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. And as a reminder, this show will be rebroadcast as a podcast on your preferred podcasting platform, wherever it happens to be. If you search for Regie Collects, you will find me. Also want to encourage you guys, if you have not listened to the podcast interview that was done with Doug on Just a Little Podcast, I encourage you to listen to this podcast. I listened to the entire thing, and I will tell you, I learned a lot more about Doug. I talked to Doug pretty much every day and a couple of times a day. There were things that I did not know about Doug that Just a Little Podcast was able to uncover. It was a well done interview by the interviewer and by the interviewee. He talked about isolation, yes, but he talked about a ton of other stuff. This podcast, Just a Little Podcast, is available on various podcasting platforms. If you search for it, you will find it. Also, I want to ask you guys, if you did not watch yesterday's video, in which I asked for your help, I want you to watch the video because I need some assistance. I have this idea, and I've had it for a while now, of building an index of modern comics to evaluate the health of the modern comic book age. If this goes well, then maybe we'll do it for the other ages of comics. But initially, I thought, well, let's start with the modern age. So if you have some time, watch the video, give me your feedback. Let me know what books, what blue chip comics you think should be on an index for modern comics. And there are some criteria that I go through in the video. All the details are there. I will be looking forward to reading your comments. All right. As always, if you guys need to reach out to me for whatever reason, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.